both of these. Hey, flower friends, look, we have flowers from the field. Can you believe it? How pretty are these? Poppies and calendulas. And this means it's about to go nuts here, y'all. This is the little innocent hint of what is about to unfold. So, friends, welcome to the live gardening show. Today's show, we're going to have so much fun. We have the return of the complete seed starting kit, what it includes, why you need it, how to use it, the whole 9 yards. I'm going to demonstrate making the 3/4 inch blocks, which is what I use like 95% of the time. You're going to see bunches of seedlings. We have a prize drawing for in-app viewers who are watching live. And as always, I'm going to do a little live Q&A at the end of the program. And so if you have a question, you can just put @Lisa in the comments and type your question, and we'll gather those up and answer a few at the very end of the show. But before we get started, friends, I have so many exciting things to tell you today. I want to just first thank you guys for sharing about our show. We have new people constantly joining us for our shows. And I know that's a lot because of you. And remember that there is a share button down here at the bottom. This is what it looks like when you're in the app, y'all. There's a share button down there, and you can invite your friends to come over and join us. And we thank you for when you do it. And if you're on our email list, you may have gotten this news yesterday, but guess what? We have just announced the open farm for this year. So save the date. It happens once a year, y'all, rain or shine. It's free and open to the public. It is Saturday, June 27th. I am located in Newport News, Virginia. You'll get to come here to my little city farm and have a tour and then drive 4 miles away and go shop our warehouse. More details are coming, and just join our email list to stay in the know. You do not have to sign up or have a ticket. And to join the email list, it's at the bottom of every one of our website pages over at thegardenersworkshop.com. And y'all, it's tons of fun. And I'll just say it here, it's not on my list, and also I make this public announcement, no pets are allowed. That is a firm rule from our insurance company. So I can't say that enough, right? So we'd love to have you, your family, or bring your family, send them off to Busch Gardens, and you come today for the day here. All right, my friends. So we also have a 20% off going on one of our most popular workshops, and that is preparing to sell to florists with Ellen Frost of Local Color Flowers. She is a Baltimore studio owner that only uses local flowers, and she spills all of her beans. 20% off, but you have to use a coupon code. So when you go to thegardenersworkshop.com and go to the online courses and find it, you just put in the coupon code FLORIST20. Florist20, and this is good through Monday. Now, just a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into our fun. Remember that here in the app, please double check your email addresses and phone numbers, that there's no typos, so that when you place an order, we can prepare and send you a tracking ticket, right? And if you have just come upon us on social media, I am so glad you found us. But I want you to know that we have a free phone app that just levels up your experience. First off, you can do all kinds of stuff inside the app, like build favorites list, watch replays. But there's a couple of things you don't want to miss out on. One of them is participating in our giveaway. You can't do that from social. And also you can participate. Look at these crazy comments going on here. The live viewers can talk to each other and carry on. But most of all, we have special shipping rates here inside the app that are not available on our website. Seed packet only orders ship for free. We pay the shipping. Product shipping has a capped shipping of $11.95, and that's important for the one of the things we have on here today. We ship to all 50 of the United States, and just remember that these special shipping rates are not available on our website. Won't work over there, y'all. Now, we frequently sell out of stuff on during the live show. And if you go to a product and it says, sorry, out of stock, get notified, you might want to choose to get notified. That simply means you'll get a little ding on your phone when the team either brings over stock from our big website or we just get it restocked. So if you are seeing, friends, people posting, I just love looking through here and seeing all, y'all can see the sunflower emojis. Those are folks identifying themselves as our TGW family, and we love them. These are our online course students and also members of my private Flower Farmer Club, just sending us love, y'all, and we love it so very, very much. So friends, our giveaway, if you are inside the app, you can hit the giveaway button now to get put on the wait list. And that wait list is what we pull from at the end of the show. You have to be present to claim it. And it's a $25 store credit that'll get dropped right into your cart. We love that. So, now we are almost everybody, well, everybody, I think I can say that now, is knee deep in seed starting right now. And, if you want to just dip a toe in because you're not sure, you're kind of new to all this, I have a couple of great beginner friendly items. One of those is my book, The Cut Flower Handbook. Friends, this is a simple, direct instruction on how to start a cutting garden, how it works, how to build it, set it up, and then it features all the flowers and everything you need to know about the flowers, which ones, how to start them, where to cut them, when to cut them, everything you need. When you purchase the book from us, it comes with a bonus PDF, which you can download and print, and it's 6 additional flowers that we could not fit inside the book. The book is $30, and I would love to sign one for you. Now, I also have another book that is super great, particularly if you have somebody that's growing a vegetable patch and they don't really understand why they should put a little cutting garden in it, or if you're just really learning about the basics of gardening. This is Vegetables Love Flowers. It's not about growing vegetables, y'all. It's about why vegetables love growing in the presence of flowers. This will jumpstart you to start a little garden, how to set it up, much like the first dose of getting started doing that. But more importantly, this book includes my gardening philosophy. It also has great illustrations and diagrams. It also has a free video book study when you purchase it from us. And I would love to sign one of these for you. Now, another great way to get started is we have seed collections. I built these, Suzanne and I made these back, I think it was like 2007 is when this one was actually started. We did it for Country Garden magazines, and they asked, put your workhorses together and tell us how to grow them. This includes 6 individual packs of seeds of those flowers that we still grow. This is the same stuff we're still growing today, y'all. The collection includes a diagram, there's some additional instructions, and it has everything you need to plant a 3x10 cutting garden. It is a customer favorite. It's $26.95, and that's a little bit of a discount from buying the packages individually. So $26.95, and this is also a great Mother's Day present, Easter present. It's just a great way to get somebody started growing flowers. And then we have another seed collection, and this is the Sunflower Garden. And so this has 6 of my favorite individually packaged seed packs of these sunflowers. It too includes a 3x10 foot diagram. And in here you can see, and then I include some additional instructions for you. This one is also $26.95. And this is really fun, even if you don't want to cut it, to leave the flowers in the garden for the bees and the pollinators, and then the birds come. So this is a really fun seed collection to really get started with. Now, why start your own seeds? There's a big difference between planting what you want to grow and planting what plants you can actually find available out in the local market. And literally, we prove this year after year. Suzanne and I go shopping. You cannot find plants that are cutting flower varieties. That's not what people are looking for. And that's why if you want to grow a cutting garden, you have to start from seed. Now, and I'm going to show you how to actually do that. So Here's my preferred method of doing it. We have put together what we call the complete kit. It's for indoor seed starting. It has everything you need to start, grow up, support inside, and then out to harden it off and to get it planted out in the garden. It's $299.97, and that is a savings of over $50 from buying all this stuff separately, okay? So that is the discounted price, $299.97. And here's the special. We don't normally have that over here in the phone app or in our shopping app because it actually costs more to ship this to you than $11.95. So that is the special for this kit this week, is it only costs you $11.95. It really depends on where you live as to how much you save, but it's anywhere from $15 to $25 savings on the shipping by just paying $11.95. And when you're checking out, it's going to give you the choice of either warm season or cool season seeds. And of course, I'm going to recommend that you pick the warm ones. Those are the Benary's Giant Mix, the Big Coxcomb Chief Mix, Basil Mix, Oklahoma Zinnia Mix, and my favorite plume, the Texas Plumes. All right, so let's take a look at all this stuff here. This is all the stuff that you're going to get. Start with that side. So we're just going to start at this side and work our way down. All of this comes in the kit. So actually, let's start. Where's the blocker? So the kit comes with the small soil blocker, which I'll demonstrate shortly. Makes 20 of the 3/4 inch blocks. As I mentioned, you get to choose your choice of either 5 warm season seeds, best sellers, or 5 cool season seeds. It also includes my seed starting made easy online course that you have lifetime unlimited access to. You own this, friends, and you just log in anytime. Takes you through the beginning all the way through the whole process. This also includes the seed starting heat mat, which is essential, particularly for warm season, has a built-in thermostat. This is what we place our seedling, our little blocks on after we sow them to get them to sprout more uniformly and a little bit quicker. It also includes the organic Neptune's Harvest fertilizer that I water with every Monday for my seedlings, and this can be used out in the garden. It also includes the seed starting trays. This tray holds 3 of those sets of 20. There's 5 of them, and the 4 of these will fit on your seedling heat mat. It also includes the seed tray, our little special toothpick dispenser and toothpicks, and the little plant IDs. It also includes, oh, this is like Christmas. I'm like, can't decide what to pick up next. It also includes our 20-foot row cover to protect your seedlings, whether they're outside hardening off or out in the garden. It also includes the ready-made soil blocking mix. Y'all, this little bag, it's 6 quarts, makes 600 of those blocks. It also includes the burlap that I recommend, and I use it to lay it on my soil blocks after I sow them when they're on the heat mat to help trap moisture on the surface. It also includes the biodegradable film that I use. And so it's white or gray on one side, black on the other, depends on what time of year you're planting. This is so easy to pop a hole in, y'all. This blocks weed seeds from getting the light they need to actually sprout.
You put that over your flower bed.
Yeah, so you place this on the bed like mulch, and we have instructions. There's a video on our website if you need guidance on that. That's included. Then we also include the flower support netting because you're going to grow those tall, beautiful flowers, and you're going to install this over your bed with just simple garden stakes that you provide, and your flowers grow up through it. Then you also get, y'all, the grow light. I'm telling you, this has everything from beginning to end. This little grow light, that's not, this little grow light is like an 8 by 24 inch footprint, but it will support like up to 160 transplants. And we also include the timer so that it comes on at 6 a.m. and off at 10 p.m. is what we recommend you set this at. So you do not have any stretching seedlings looking for light. Did I get everything, sister?
Did you get the?
Oh, and guess what, y'all? It also includes the fungus gnat fighting kit. Literally, this kit has everything you need from beginning to end to grow and support a couple hundred seedlings all inside. And I even, in the course, take you through getting them outside and getting them planted. So this whole kit is $299.97. And the special offer is that it is in the app and you only pay $11.95 shipping, which is a savings of $15 to $25, which is what it actually costs. Sorry, y'all, I'm being directed.
See it all now.
Sign language. So you get all of this for the complete kit. And I will tell you that this is the biggest savings. You save $50 instead of buying all this stuff piece by piece as you decide that you need this extra piece, right? So let me show you how you would actually do that. So this is that blocking mix, and it's been moistened. You hold the soil blocker by the stationary bar and push it into the soil a couple of times. And yep, I use a potato masher, y'all, for to strike off the bottom and to mix the soil and water. Our trays have no drainage holes. This means you can tuck this in anywhere in your house. It does great in a spare bedroom. Just put your fingers through, give it a little push like a plunger, and y'all, we just made 20 little containers, literally little containers to grow your seeds in. So let's sow some zinnia seeds, which people are always so very surprised. You know, zinnia seeds are pretty big, right? You can see these really well because these are some of the ones that are coated in clay. That's just a clay coating that the seed sellers put on here to make it easier for them to actually count them. But Bobo, you know, the head seeder here, loves coated seeds. You literally just push it in and push the tail in. The tail is still going to be visible. Can y'all see that? You can still see the tail, and that's fine. You do not need to put soil over that or anything else. You just push it in, one of the pointy ends, and it's just that simple. The very same thing is done for marigolds and cosmos, which are also long, skinny seeds. So it's just that simple, y'all. All right, so next, so that's everything you need. That's like the best, right? That's the best place to start. But there's lots of other ways. First off, everything you just saw is available in the app separately. Now, if you just want the tools, we have what's called the Soil Block Maker set. That includes the small blocker you just saw me use, but it also includes the 2-inch blocker, which you'll see. I'll show you my eucalyptus here in a second. If you have large seeds or if you have tomatoes or eucalyptus that you want to bump up, which are the ones I happen to bump up, this is the 2-inch blocker, and it also comes with the inserts. So look how beautiful my eucalyptus seedlings are, y'all. So these were started in the small block to have high germination, not take up much space. Then we bumped them as they got bigger. And these were started actually back in January. Look at the roots. Pretty dadgum amazing. So this soil blocker set, oh look, those were silver dollar. Look at my polyanthemus. Don't you love these? I just love that's how they are out in the garden, y'all. How beautiful they are. So with the soil block maker set, you can start any size seed and you can actually bump up if you find the need to do that. All right. Now, you can buy additional bags of the ready-made mix. It's $15.95. This is ready to go, although we recommend sifting everything. This, as well as any ingredients that you make your own at home with. It's $15.95, and you just add water after you've sifted, and you are ready to roll. There's no need to add any nutrients. They're all already in here. And this, sorry y'all, my nose is already with that soil. This is the sifter that will change your world. It changed mine. This fits perfectly on top of a 5-gallon bucket. Makes it so simple and neat to do. So you just put in your stuff, sift it. The chunks are here. The chunks are good. They just aren't good in seed starting soil, y'all. So put it in your containers or put it out in your garden. But this is the sifter, and it's $24.95, and we just find it super essential. Now, if you think you want to make your own soil blocking mix at home, we have the nutrient that you can add to your peat moss or cocoa fiber and compost. This is enough. It's powder, and it's this is a 50-50 mix of green sand and rock phosphate. And you've got the recipe right on the front here, and this will make 12 recipes. It's $19.95. And you know, blocking mix is the complete opposite of most potting soils. Potting soil and regular seed starting soils are made to be light and fluffy because they go in containers, right? Trays, peat pots, whatever it is you're using. Blocking mix is the container. So it just makes sense. You need something that binds together and holds together. And that's why there is a blocking mix. It is different. Plus, we only use compost based soils. We don't use sterile soils. And this is the way that you jumpstart it. Now, I showed you our little reusable foam trays in the kit. Well, they come in several sizes that you can purchase separately. This is the mini that holds 20 blocks. This is the small, which holds two sets of 20. They all come in 5 packs, and they're also available in 25 packs. And this is the one that actually comes in the kit. Like this is $3.95. We use these trays for years, y'all. Literally for years. You know, I don't even think I showed them these seedlings. I kind of skipped right through with my kit, but what is it you're trying to start? This is what you're getting, gang. This is what we're starting with all this stuff we're showing you. This is basil. This is 100 blocks on this tray. And let's see. Oh my gosh, I can already smell them, y'all. Lemon basil is the best.
Show them the label. You're getting ready to show the garden marker next. So you can show the label.
Yeah, so I can do that. And then this is some celosia that was just born. So you can take that, sister. So I was just getting ready to show you my favorite garden marker. It actually holds up outside from within UV rays and moisture. And it's how y'all are gonna have to see it backwards, but I'm gonna show you. That's what we have right on all of our trays with. This is masking tape, just regular masking tape. And that's what we write the name and the date with, and it holds up even outside for up to a season or more. Here's another one of my wooden stakes with a name on it that says Coxcomb Mix. That was from last year. So it went through the whole year out in the garden in the sun, and it does not fade. They're $6.95, and we use them all the time, and we absolutely love them. Now here's the seedling heat mat that is also included in the complete kit, but you can purchase it separately. It includes a built-in thermostat that warms this up 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the air temperature, because whether you understand, I didn't understand this, your little mass of soil typically is 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the air temperature. So if your house is 70, that means your soil is 50 to 55 degrees. Guess what temperature seeds sprout? 75 to 85 degrees, y'all. Seedling heat mat is essential. That's $40.95, and it'll save you so many seed failures. Now, I showed you, this is also in that complete kit. This is the fungus gnat fighting set. These are the bits that you put in your watering can. We do it once a week as a preventative. I put them in the can, let them set overnight, water the next morning. And this kills any developing larva that is growing in the moist soil. The moist soil got those larvae because the adults that fly around, that's what the sticky trap looks like when you get a bunch of fungus gnats, y'all. These sticky traps capture the adults that are flying around laying those eggs. I will tell you, prevention is the key to this. If you have an outbreak, it takes months to literally get it back under control. The set is $23.65, and you can also buy those things separately if you don't need both of them. So y'all, has anybody here as smitten with this foop as my sister is? Suzanne is like such a huge proponent of this. So foop is a fish poop based fertilizer.
I really just like to say foop.
But what's so special about it? Because most manure that's processed does a great job of growing stuff, but this one has a minty scent. It's got peppermint oil in it, and that's what makes it so doable for most people. You can use it every time you water. It's 32 ounces, and this is a concentrate, and it's $24.99.
I used it on my pansies that looked awful after the really cold winter we had. And I've only used it once, meant to use it every week, but I just used it a few weeks ago. And my husband's like, your flowers just look incredible. They're blooming like crazy.
So the fish poop you can use on your seedlings out in your garden, and it's just not got that make your hair stand up kind of stinky. All right, so Neptune seaweed fish. Am I not seeing? Oh, there it is. It was hiding from me, y'all. So this is the one that I have used for a couple of decades. It's not quite so sweet smelling. They both basically work great. They just have different applications depending on your situation. I put this in my watering can every Monday, and it's 1 tablespoon to a gallon, and this little bottle will go far. And this too can be used out in the garden. It's $18.95, and we just cannot rave enough about these organic fertilizers. Just really make your soil better, grows your plants so healthy. And then here's another piece of what we love to do. These are our compost tea bags. Literally, it's high quality compost in a tea bag like material, and you can drop it in your watering can, a gallon watering can today, and let it steep overnight, and then water your seedlings tomorrow. This does not replace fertilizer. This is another piece of putting the biology back in your soil. And then, of course, you can add this compost to your containers or out in your garden, whatever you would like. And you can use this every week, but it's great if you can do it a couple times. They're $18.95 for a bag of 12. And we just find that it's just one more piece of the puzzle. And so here's another Foop product, fish poop, y'all, and minty smell. This is a ready to use foliar feeding. Comes in the bottle with the sprayer for you to spray on. This is actually pretty good to actually mist your seedlings with. Once a week, it's $24.99. And again, when you're spraying a product, if it stinks, that makes it stink more. So that's where this really helps with foliar feeding. All right, so what do I use out in my garden? And one of the ones that I use is the Sustain Organic Fertilizer. So this is a granular. It's 8 cups per 100 square feet. It's a 5-pound bag that's $21.95. And y'all, the whole point of organic versus conventional, I didn't really quite understand all this when I started, gardening 30 years ago. When you use synthetic products, stuff that's man-made, you use it, it feeds your plant, that it leaches away, and it's done. It also damages the microbiology in the soil if you're using it outside, right, as it leaches away. When you use any organic products, it's actually feeding the soil that then is getting so healthy and active that it's taking care of your plants. So with each application, your soil gets better. That's not the case with the conventional. So this is Sustain. It's $21.95, and we have a bigger bag of this available over on our website if you find that you want that. And so, has anybody ever tried biochar? Y'all, this is like probiotics for your soil, like probiotics like we eat, right? It contains millions of microorganisms made here in the United States. It's sourced from the pine industry waste, so it's safe to use. You can mix one bag with a cubic foot of soil, which is like 1.5 5-gallon buckets. And it's organic certified. This is I always have to read, the 64-ounce size, and it also comes in 128-ounce size. This size is $29.95. And this is something that I use when I'm planting trees, shrubs, and perennials in my yard, things that are being planted for the long term, and cannot say enough about how successful those help make us. Want to remind everybody, hit the button to get on our wait list for the giveaway for a $25 gift certificate, or actually store credit to be dropped right into your cart. And if you joined us late, we're going to be doing a live Q&A at the end of the show, and you can put your question in the comments by putting @Lisa and type whatever your question is, and we'll gather those up. Now, we are reaping the benefits of this right now. We just finished doing some spring hand weeding out in the garden. And because our beds are covered in this biodegradable mulch film, literally, as Bobo will tell you, you're just pulling a weed or two, if any, right where the hole is, where the plant is. Your whole bed's not covered. This is biodegradable film. It looks and works like plastic, but it's a plant byproduct. It's compostable, and it can be turned into the soil or just left to break down. You can put mulch on top of it. It's available in 3 lengths. They're all 48 inches wide. There's a 20-foot piece for $14.95. We have 50-foot pieces for $24.95 and 100-foot pieces for $39.95. And there's multi-pack discounts. And we have a video on the products to show you actually how to lay this. I laid it by hand for years. And I attribute this to being able to scale my flower farm, because it just prevented so many weeds from actually sprouting, right? And so I had that little plant support netting. I don't know where it went. So another really important piece of growing cut flowers is you have to use plant support. I find that flower support netting is the easiest, most efficient way and does the best job of keeping our flowers upright. I just finished netting some of our beds. This is plastic. It's super easy to cut. We suspend it on top of the beds with heavy duty garden stakes. This is actually at the height of the halfway to mature height. So if it's a 48-inch tall flower, this is going to be at 24 inches. This is available in 2 lengths here inside the shop app. It's all 36 inches wide, 20-foot and 50-foot, $11.95 and $21.95, and we have much longer pieces available over on our website. If we didn't use flower support netting, y'all, we would not have flowers. Sister, you want to try?
Yep.
All right.
Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Lisa's little sister, Suzanne, and love being at the farm here with my sister. I'm going to show you our newer tool belt. This is such a great tool. It has all these pockets. This pocket here has this thick plastic so you can put your shears in there without cutting through the bottom of it. It's got room for a water bottle. And we usually put this on and then we turn it around so that we can bend easily and it doesn't obstruct us. And it has this great adjustable, I'm not sure I know anybody that little, but it's got this great adjustable belt that goes all the way to 39 inches. It's 9.5 by 9, and it actually has 4. Is it just 4? 4 pockets. It seems like the pockets go on and on. It's $32.95. It's machine washable. Just hang it to dry, and it just keeps everything at your fingertips and makes it easier for you to get your jobs done in the yard or in your garden.
It's also a good place to hide your shears from other people.
This is true. All right, next we have our favorite lightweight gloves. So these are the lightweight Atlas gloves. They come in sizes extra small to large. I have a large hand. These are kind of unisex size. I have a large hand. I can't wear large women's gloves off the shelf. I have to look for extra large women gloves, but I wear a medium in these. So a medium would fit a woman with a large hand, or and then smaller from there. The extra smalls are great for kids or for a very petite woman. A single pair is $8.95, or the value of a lifetime is 4 pair for $31.95. We have a lot of people that love to give and receive these as gifts, and you can get enough for all your girlfriends and then switch. Take a pink one and an orange one and everybody swap. And then you think about that person when you're out working in your yard or gardening. It's a lot of fun. So 4-pack, $31.95. Now we have the heavyweight Atlas gloves. Now these are sized the same way as the others. I wear a medium and I have a large woman hands. This comes in size small up to extra large. So if you have a big guy, the extra large is going to do great for him. These are double coated with the nitrile coating on the palm, and it's very sticky. Mechanics wear these. They're great for picking up like big sticks or logs. Golfers use them, but they're also great to move like concrete blocks, that kind of heavy duty work. They just let you grip. You can feel every little thing you're doing without taking them off. Again, a single pair is $8.95, and a 4-pack is going to be $31.95. And keep an extra pair on hand. We have several customers whose dog has taken their pair and run off, and they've been upset because they were without. But they do last a long time. You can machine wash them, just hang them to dry, or I wash them while they're on my hands and hang them to dry, and they really last a long time. Now we have our gauntlet gloves. Feel like a knight. All right, so the gauntlet gloves are man-made material, super heavy duty here on the front. So this will protect you from any of those varmints that you want to wrangle out in the garden, whether they be thorns or poison ivy. We use these to rescue wildlife because they really protect you. They're machine washable, just hang them to dry. So if you're in poison ivy, you can just throw them in the washing machine when you're done. These are also unisex size. I have a large woman's hand and I wear a medium in these gloves. And everybody who has a yard needs to have a pair of these on hand because you're going to need them. You're just not sure when. These are $40.95 and these will last you a really long time.
So Andrew was just here on the farm, kind of wrangling our native border, which is full of blackberry brambles, which are an essential wildlife food source, but we don't need their brambles grabbing us when we walk by. He would not even think about going to those brambles without having these gloves on. We absolutely love them.
Yep. All right, next we have our foam wire ties. It's the deal of the day. Yay!
Ding, ding, ding.
32 foot of this. You cut it to size. It's weather resistant. It's great for tomatoes. You just bend it around whatever you want it to hold up, and the foam is very gentle and won't harm whatever you're attaching it to. Also love this for decorating, spring decorating, Christmas decorating, whatever you're doing. This won't harm whatever you're attaching your decorations to, and you simply twist the wire and it stays. So it's $12.76 on our special today, and everybody needs to have this on hand. There's just a bunch of different uses, and you want to be sure you've got this in your closet. All right, next we have our Mother's Day bundle. Look at this cute little set. It has a little bag with a little bow on it. And this is one of our newer collections,
Sets.
one of our newest sets, Defying Expectations. Isn't that beautiful? And then it's got these flowers in the little seed set. You see it comes with a little picture on the front and each of the individual packs of seeds with it. Comes with a little card we'll put in there that says Happy Mother's Day if you want to send it to your mom, and you can just give us her address and we'll ship it directly to her. So it comes with our, is this the Benares? Yeah, the Benares Giant Lime Green Zinnia, one of our favorites. It's just lovely. And then it has green drops, grass. And you see those lovely seed pods are beautiful, and it cascades over the side and it's just lovely. And then, of course, everybody's favorite, especially moms, our giant pink zinnias that are beautiful. And then it has our is this Sunday?
It's
Yes,
bright
Sunday
pink.
bright pink plumes, which just make any arrangement more beautiful if you've got some spikes going in there. And then our green tails amaranth, one of my favorites. And amaranths, you do peel off all the we poke off all the
Strip the
leaves. We
foliage.
just strip it. So if you get some damage, you can probably see a little leaf damage in here. Don't worry about that when it's growing. Just strip all those leaves off. But this beautiful green dangling down out of your arrangement is just breathtaking. So the set comes with the seed set, the bundle. Comes with the seed set and this beautiful little package with the bow. And then it also has one of my favorites. This is our little espresso. We call it an espresso watering can. It's a beautiful little can. And where's the information on this, Susie? Is it not in there? Is it 2 cups? It holds 2 cups of water. This is beautiful. Lisa is now obsessed with this. I got her some plants for a kitchen sill. And she said she just loves going over and water, and I'm afraid she's going to overwater because she just
Yeah.
loves using this little thing.
I'm telling y'all, I never knew I could be so excited about using something. It's pretty fun.
And it's beautiful just to leave sitting on your shelf with your indoor plants. It's great to put water in arrangements because you can sneak
Soil
it through.
blocks.
Yep, great for watering your soil blocks, but I also love to just put some short flowers in it and use it as a little container. So this little bundle is $49.95, and we can send it directly to your mom and put this Happy Mother's Day card in it, and you'll be set.
And
Easy
so
peasy.
when you check out, you would have to order that separately from the rest of your order, and you buy it as the buyer, but then you just put your mom's information in the ship to area and we'll send it straight to her.
All right, next up we have the Bouquet Studio, and I am going to, let me put my gloves on. I go home and have green all over my fingers and my fingernails and think, why didn't I just put my gloves on? All right, so I have my gloves. Of course, these are our lightweight Atlas gloves that we all love, and I wear all of the time. So, what we're going to do today on the Bouquet Studio is we are going to show you how our Oasis tape works. And we're going to use some of these beautiful blooms that we cut out of the garden. I've got some Lenten roses, and then the flowers Lisa was showing you, the calendula, and a couple of poppies have popped. We also, looks like we have a little sweet pea vine to use as just greenery as well. So the Oasis tape, love this. It's see-through, you can't see it, so see it, you can't even tell it's on the edge of my container. But when I tip it, you can see I've made a grid. It's real easy to use and it sticks. You just cut it with a pair of scissors and you can make the grid for whatever size you want. I left the holes a little bigger today because I have these Lenten roses and they're multi-branched, so that kind of need more space than a single bloom would need. So let's start out by figuring out how tall we want to go. I'm going to pull off all of the greenery. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is 60 yards, so this will last you a really long time. It's $8.95, and again, you want to keep that in your bag and have it in case you need to do an arrangement at the last minute. So I'm just kind of guessing at how high I want this to be, and we'll stick it in there and let it take up some space. Now these, I just went out and cut these, and there were not that many out there that were ready to cut. You can see how this has its head lifted up. When I went in the garden, most of them had their heads pointing down, which means that they are not ready to be cut. You want their heads to be pointing up. And if we waited a little longer, these seed pods will even start to turn a dark color, and sometimes they'll open and give you seeds everywhere. So beware of that as well. But you do want to wait until they are pointing up before you cut them, and they will last such a long time in a container.
They're so pretty,
Aren't
sister.
they beautiful? So I'm going to pull off some leaves of this one and try to use this trunk. Let's see how short I can make it.
So I'm taking a meal to a friend this evening, and so do you think we can make this, not make it, but you can
Yeah,
help me take that to her too?
yes, we will. All
Because
right.
they're so pretty.
So I'm just trying to, I always cut them too long. And the more flowers you get in here, the more they're going to stand up. But I just want kind of a little
Structure.
a little structure to help my other plants stand up in there. I could have made the little could have
Gosh,
made
I love that one with the pink and the green.
I could have made it these the pattern a little bit closer together and they would have worked better, but I wasn't sure about getting these guys in there, so I wanted to make sure that, and they're falling over now, but we'll stand them back up as we get our other flowers in. And then look at these. Lisa got this sweet pea vine for me, which is beautiful. And you know, you can just let that hang out and dangle any which kind of way. And it's just beautiful. It gives more texture. I could do just an all green arrangement. I just love greenery. Stick some out the front. And then we're going to start, let's see, our poppies are the tallest, but we're going to start with our calendula. And we have all kinds of different ones in here too, sister, don't we?
Yeah. So this is the Pacific Beauties mix, and they were planted last fall. They and Iceland poppies are the first bloomers on my farm every single year, the fall planted ones. They really, the pollinators adore both of these. The poppies, they just fight over. The calendula, even the foliage before the blooms open benefit pollinators. And they're edible flowers too for anybody that is interested in that kind of stuff. Um, I haven't convinced my husband to eat flowers yet. He's not on board with
Aw,
that.
shucks. Come on, Steve.
So we'll just stick with looking at them on our table.
Calendula has such an interesting smell. They're different than any other flower. They remind me of a food smell, but I can never put my finger on it. And so I Googled it, and it said that some people say they smell like freshly mowed hay. And since I've never been on a farm with hay, I'm not quite sure what that smells like. But if you know what that smells like, then maybe you know what calendula smells like. So I'm just putting some around. You see how well the tape is holding it up. So let's go with the poppy in here. Look how beautiful that is, and give it a little movement, as you might say. Anything that is flowy kind of gives it a little movement. This one is shorter. Let's stick him down here. White, white. And then we have one more. We only have one poppy left. I'm going to stick him down here. Get in there, boy. Now it's difficult for me to see what the front looks like unless I look in. It's like I'm looking in the mirror. So let me see if I can't give this a little poofy.
And so,
It's a little
sister,
too
don't you, I
tall.
mean, like, if you start you doing this and it's like your flowers are falling over, there's two reasons why that happens. They're too tall, you still haven't cut them short enough, or maybe the grid you're working in isn't tight enough.
Right.
But it'll get better as you add more and more foliage. So just keep adding stuff and then it just holds itself up. It becomes the structure for that. How pretty is that?
Yep, and this is a lot of fun. And we always tell you, just keep doing it. The more and more you do it, the more relaxed you'll feel about it, and the more you'll get confidence. And there you go. And I just love, of course, this special green container I found at a thrift store. I often go and try to recycle those things that other people can't use anymore and find a home for it. So this is the Oasis tape, and you can use it on any size container, tall, short, anything. But of course, my favorite is a short container so you can see who's sitting across the table from you. All right, sister. Here
I
we
was
go.
just,
They're right here.
all right.
So now Lisa's going to tell you about some other
So,
flowers that we
sister,
brought.
make that so it can travel.
Okay.
But I mean, what bright colors to take to somebody that might not be feeling so great, right? All right, friends. So I want to share with you some of the seeds that we're starting right now that you can start. And we start these multiple times from here on out. It's called succession planting, which the books that I shared with you today both will guide you. It's very simple, y'all. We make it so darn complicated. But that's the secret to having great flowers all season. The other thing to secret to having great flowers is to buy flower seeds when you meet the flower. Then you store them properly, which is what this is all about. These are desiccant packs. And they absorb moisture from like condensation and humidity. A 2-pack is $2.95. A 10-pack is $9.95. And you just store these, put these in your airtight container, holding all your seed packets, and keep them cool and dry, and they last so very, very long. So we're starting, I'm the queen of celosia. We love celosia. It's a great garden flower, great cut flower, pollinator flower, long lasting. And we have them all coming along. This is just such a great one. This is Crystal Beauty. Look at those colors. This is a branching celosia that is just a great bouquet filler. I did post a reel just this week on Instagram. It shows me standing in the garden next to some tall green plants. That is this, and it shows what a natural brancher this particular coxcomb is. And then, so that's a great one. But this is the one I always start with. If I tell people, if you've never grown coxcomb, this is the one you start with. It's the Coxcomb Chief Mix. It has all the colors. It's a strong brancher, great producer, and we just absolutely love it. Now, that basil that I was rubbing on earlier is this Everleaf Lemon. So I've always grown Miss Burns. This one came out a few years ago. This one is slower to set bloom, which makes me happy because I want it for foliage, right? So this is the Everleaf Lemon, and it grows even taller than Miss Burns does. So absolutely love that. And then Amaranth, this is the Love Lies Bleeding. This one's been stripped, you can see. It's the bloom that we want for this, y'all. And so that is just a great color. I think there's like 10 different Amaranths that we have, and they're all so very cool. And so if I had to pick one Celosia plume to grow, this would be it. Texas Celosia plumes. We had this seed custom grown. This is super tall. Look at the color selection, and the bloom shapes vary. So this is a really great one to try out. And this coxcomb Asuka is so different than the regular. Look how the ribs are cut, so they're almost fuzzy. The colors are fantastic. Look at that green. This is a single stem that has a tendency to branch, but we grow it as a single stem, which means we pack them in tight. Love all these colors. And then who doesn't want to get started with Cosmos, y'all? This is the double click mix, and that is the one that has all the colors. This is a great place to start, and this is the longest lasting Cosmo. As far as the more petals you have, the longer it lasts. And y'all, eucalyptus, right? That's one of the ones that I was showing you earlier. This is polyanthemus. Love, I mean, nobody has ever said don't put eucalyptus in my bouquet. And then this is the most traditional. That's the silver dollar, which is the more of the silvery color, which is really cool too. And then who doesn't love a little ball to go in your bouquet? This is the Gumphrina mix. This is so fun, y'all. We love having these for fresh and dried use. And then this is our firework explosion. It's called explosion grass. This is one we plant on every succession. We absolutely love it. Customers love it. It's just so much fun to have. It gets a shimmery, the light catches it. I mean, it's really beautiful. And then, y'all, who doesn't love hairy balls? If you don't love hairy balls, then you probably know somebody that loves hairy balls. This is the seed pod, y'all, that comes after the insignificant flower. First off, it's not a native, but it is a monarch support plant. And these green balls cause more of a store of us, a stir up of people in the supermarkets when we sold them, at the farmers markets. Florists loved them. It is just really cool. And it's a long grow. You plant it as in your first succession, and then it does that at the end of summer. And friends, who doesn't love giant marigolds? You do know that the smell is from the foliage, not from the flower. So don't ditch the flower just because you don't like the smell of the foliage. Just strip it. Love this one. These are like 48 inches tall and just huge. And here's another one to not forget about. This is pumpkin on a stick. We use them green all season long. But then the month of October, we plan to have tons of these. They look just like little pumpkins, y'all. They're actually ornamental eggplants. They're so easy to grow. And then also the rooster pepper. This is a great cut flower. Again, we use this green all season in bouquets and for sales. Then when they turn red in the fall, as my friend Kathy Jones that rescued this seed, that they're cash cows making wreaths out of these in the month of October. So they're hot chilies. Yes, you can eat them, but they're far more valuable as a cut. And then friends, sunflowers, we plant them every single week. And this is our Pro Cut mix, which has all the colors. We make this mix in house. And this is a great way to meet the different colors. And we want sunflowers every week to poof up our bouquets. People love them. They just make everybody smile. All right, friends, it is time to wrap it up. And I want to remind you to stick around for the Q&A that I'm going to do that very last here today. So please be sure to check out all the free resources we have over at thegardenersworkshop.com. We have videos, blogs, podcasts. Be sure to check out both of our podcasts. That is Field and Garden, which I host. Episode number 95 is Seed Starting Steps. And episode 89 is Seed Starting Saturday, week 1. And Seed Talk, which is our other podcast that it's Lane and Lisa, is episode number 25 is Seed Starting and Transplant Timing. Friends, we have so many resources to help you to get started wherever you are. Remember that the Gardener's Workshop hosts Ask a Flower Farmer on our Instagram account on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock, as well as on TikTok at the very same time. Meet us back here next Friday for the live shopping show. And remember that I do a shopping show on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and occasionally do pop-ups. And be sure that your notifications are turned on inside your app so that if I do a sporadic show, you'll get a little ding on your phone. Yeah. So I'm going to give the episode numbers again that somebody's asked for. So Field and Garden, it's episode 95 and episode 89. And Seed Talk is episode 25. Those are all about seed starting stuff. Remember that our Preparing to Sell to Florist course is 20% off until Monday. Y'all, if you're thinking about even approaching a florist, do not burn your bridge by having a crummy first visit to them by not being professional. This course, I believe it's $49.95. It's 20% off. It'll be the best $40 you have ever spent. You have to use the coupon code FLORIST20. And you'll find that over at thegardenersworkshop.com. And that is available through Monday at midnight. And don't forget to save the date for my once a year rain or shine open farm is June 27th. And the details, get on our email list. We'll be sending out emails with information and all the details. Now, y'all, we have a winner of our $25 store credit, and I surely hope you are here. And if you are Amber Ashman, Amber, we have 25 smackers to drop right into your shopping cart. If you're here, give us a shout out in the comments to let us know you're here, and the girls will drop a $25 store credit. And I thank you so much for participating. We just love it, giving stuff away to people. So friends, stick around if you want to listen to the Q&A, but if you're heading out, thank you so much for joining us. And, you know, just, Amber's here. Congratulations, Amber. So Jesse is typing as I'm speaking right now, dropping that credit probably right into your cart. And we thank you so much for, just participating. All right, so we got questions. I'm really disappointed in the Sweet William I fall planted. All the stems split and fell to the side. So they're short, split, and kind of sad, but they're starting to bloom. What did I do wrong? So I think I would search engine exactly what you put here, that your Sweet William stems are splitting and falling over. That could be a pest. And you know, it's just, I don't know where you are, but where I am here in southeastern Virginia, we had the longest, deepest cold winter we have had in years. And we have got the most rocking, best Sweet William that we have ever grown. I have 6 different varieties planted. So something is going on. And so I can't tell you what and it's not always something that you did something wrong. And I also want to say, friends, do you know how many years I've been growing cool flowers? Do you know how many years I killed a bunch of cool flowers? A decade, probably. I still do it on occasion. So don't be disappointed. I know you want to figure it out, but that's what I would search engine. Splitting says something to me, whether that's nutrient or pest or something like that. My soil blocks seem very dry. I have some on the heat mats and some under heat lamps. I am watering dailies. Any thoughts? Well, I wouldn't use a heat lamp. And because that really will dry the heck out of them. And it really depends on what soil blocking mix you're using. And we water thoroughly every morning. And even though my grow room, which is very warm, which means my heat mats are pretty hot, we still only need to water once a day. They only get watered one time first thing in the morning. And when I come out, If I happen into my grow room, which I don't even visit my plants during the day, they see me in the morning at dark 30, take care of them, and then I don't see them again till the next morning. They're dry the next morning, but they do just well. So I would suggest to you to go to the gardenersworkshop.com, go to the resources, which is across the top, and go to all things soil blocking. There's a video in there showing watering, and I talk about how oftentimes people are not thoroughly watering their blocks as much as they think they are. The other thing I would say is your heat lamp definitely will dry stuff out, but also your soil blocking mix. I am a huge fan of using peat moss if you're making your own instead of cocoa fiber, which just does not hold moisture like peat moss does. Do you fertilize these seedlings in the tray, celosia and basil? Yes. My snaps are not germinating well at all. Had them on heat mats covered with burlap. I make sure they are watered every morning. What am I doing wrong? So first off, it's kind of late for most people to be starting snapdragons. They are cool season hardy annual, which means you should definitely have cookie cooling racks on your heat mats to create a space. And that's what your trays sit on. So they aren't directly on the heat mat. Snaps do not germinate with warm conditions at all. So that's definitely what I would think of. My soapwort stems grew so wonky, almost laying down from the start. I've netted it now to direct it to go up, but is that a common thing? I'm just thinking about, I was just looking, our soapwort, which is saponaria, got whacked back by the deer. And so, by the way, you can pinch it and it just gets a heavier head. And it doesn't have the strongest stem. Certainly, fertilization, too much or maybe not enough can make them lodge or lay down. And wind, if they go down once, it's hard to get them to go straight again, right? And also moisture can actually contribute to that. But we literally have grown soapwort many years without netting just because of situations, and it does really well. But maybe it'll get better as they start to bloom and they get growing and the heat comes. My fall planted bachelor buttons are quite healthy, but too close together. Is it possible to separate the other plant and put them in another bed? No. You will risk killing both of them. You thin is what that's called. And that's what we're getting ready to do right now and actually we're a little late. We should have thinned probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. And you just pull them out and drop them because they have long roots. If you start messing around with the roots of the plant that you're trying to liberate, speaking from firsthand experience, you risk killing the one you're leaving there, and they never transplant well at this large size, especially direct sown stuff that their tap roots are a little bit more sensitive. How often do you feed your plants once they are planted? Honestly, we don't. We prepare the beds with the dry organic fertilizer you saw me mention today at planting when we're preparing the beds. I would love to say that I soil drench or foliar feed maybe like once. You could do it every week. Not necessary though, but once a month. But we just don't ever have time to do that. So you can just follow the directions on your product. How far should my grow lights be away from my seedlings? It depends on what kind of light bulb you have. How often do you move the grow light up? Again, if you are using LEDs, which are not my first choice because they do not get warm at all, LEDs and T5s. T5s are the little skinny, that's what ours are. They need to be a little further away from the transplants because they do get a little warm, which benefits your seedlings, and that gives them a broader footprint. And so they just need to be, at least 8 inches above, probably 7 to 8 inches above your seedlings, but it really depends on what grow light you have. 7B, I need to get some seedlings planted out, expecting weathers and 40-ish and high 80 and lots of wind. Should I use insect netting or frost cloth to protect these new plantings? The weather keeps us guessing all the time. I would use insect netting. I don't know what you're planting. If you're talking about planting warm season, obviously it's too soon for 40. You can't do that. I would guess you're saying cool season, which you're a little late for 7B, I would think. But I would use insect netting so you don't overheat them. Has the Bobo weeder ever put a hole in your drip tape? Oh, yeah. You have to know where your T-tape is. I think I accidentally did it because the pump does not shut off even though it is supposed to be low pressure. Well, that can be a lot of different issues, but if you have holes in your tape, you should be able to see where there's a wetter spot, right? I have well water with a water softener. Can I use this on my soul block plants, or what would I use instead? If you're able to use it to drink, I would think it'd be fine. If you're questioning the quality of your water, I would take it to the water department and get a water test, or your extension office can probably tell you where to do that, but I think it would be fine. Our Cerinthe stems are rotting on the tips in the water. We're using CVBM tabs in our buckets. Any thoughts? The Cerinthe stems are rotting on the tips in the water. No clue. That could be over fertilization. So if you're talking about brown on the end of your tips, I mean, that could be a carryover from something from the field, something in the water, heat, direct sunlight. My poly eucalyptus polyanthemus is fuzzy. Is that normal? Not sure what fuzzy means. Only time will tell. If that's a seedling, only time will tell. See what it grows out of. I bought a small soil blocker from you and it keeps coming apart. The handle keeps coming off the slides. You just need to reach out to info@thegardenersworkshop.com and they will guide you or send you a new one. I mean, if it's malfunctioning. Yeah. All right, my friends. Thank you so much. Remember to mark your calendar. And if you're on the fence about a complete seed starting kit, I'm telling you, take the plunge. You'll save so much money just having all the bits and pieces and just doing the complete job. All right, my friends, and that's available till it sells out or Sunday morning at 8 a.m. All right, friends, till we meet again. Ciao.